Check 1 2 1 2. Oh.
It's time for Larry Knows Sports. My guest tonight is an improviser from the world's largest improv team, Goliath, and he is a lifelong Mets fan, Eric Mangin. Is it Mangin or Mangin?
It's Mangin. I accept both, though.
And I'm your host, Larry the Athlete. Bang! Eric, thanks for coming on the show. We could all see your Mets jersey, your Mets hat.
Yeah, big fan.
Big fan.
Thanks for having me, Larry. I'm a big fan of the show, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I have been watching it for weeks now.
All right, yeah, good.
Definitely
Some of us have been watching for months. Even though it premiered like 2 weeks ago.
You know what? It's timeless nonetheless.
Timeless,
Yeah.
just like me.
Yes.
I was born 3,000 years ago and will be born in 3,000 years.
You're the alpha and the omega.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just like the Mets. They're the alpha and the omega.
If the omega was... No, if the alpha was 1964?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1964. And omega is this year because they're going to win the World Series again.
And then they're done with baseball.
And then that's it. Yeah.
You can wrap it up.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit of a lapsed baseball fan. Mm-hmm. Was a big Mets fan growing up, and in 06, that fatal year. So what's going on now with the Mets? I know. Let's see. I know Alonso. Mm-hmm. I know DeGrom. Mm-hmm. DeGrom's like the second best pitcher in baseball, right?
I'd say the best. I'd say the best.
Yeah.
I mean, he's two.
It's like him and Garrett Cole.
Yeah. Garrett Cole. I mean, yeah, he won the AL Cy Young.
Yeah. Did DeGrom win NL?
He won it 2 years in a row. He won last year and the year before. So I mean, that alone, I feel like gives him merit to say he's number one. I think like Baseball America calls him the number two, but I think that's BS. Yeah.
But it's just semantics.
Yeah.
Stupid semantics.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And so they got them. What they've been like building a young team recently, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely turned the page from years past in which they just throw money at like aging veterans.
Yeah.
Granted, they've got Cano on the team now, but I feel like there's a little bit of a culture shift. And I'm not gonna give that credit to Brody, Van Wagening, because he's a little smarmy. I think a lot of Mets
Brody
fans,
is the manager.
He's the GM.
Okay.
Yeah. Slick back hair, kind of broy.
Is he a former player agent?
Player? Yeah, he was player agent. He played baseball. I think he played with Billy Beane too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of broy attitude.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan, but
it's kind of a.
I mean, if you can put a winning team in the field, I think people will look past that. But yeah.
That's what I think about like the Knicks, who I'm a huge fan of. Like all this like nonsense that always like makes it onto the Jump or whatever ESPN NBA show. It's just if they start winning, that'll go away.
Yeah. Winning cures everything.
Yep. Yep. You hear that, people with Corona? Winning cures everything. Cool. And what do you like? So how do you think that they're going to do? You think they're going to be good?
Well, I mean, I think any World Series champion tends to regress, and I think that might happen to the Nationals, especially because they've lost Anthony Rendon, and he was like the centerpiece of their offense. Granted, they do have a lot of youth too that could contribute and make up for that. I do see the Nats taking a step backwards. Maybe still winning a wild card, but I don't see them winning the division.
Okay.
Phillies are improved. They picked up Zach Wheeler from the Mets, and they swooped in and took Girardi, who I kind of hoped the Mets were going to go after.
Yeah.
But the Braves were young and still have a ton of talent, so I think that it's going to be a real dog race through the whole year. But hopefully, I think the Mets can at least squeak out a wild card and at 90 wins is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. I think that'd be a good season. Everybody would
absolutely
be happy with that.
Yeah. The team as a whole, though, I feel like fans are more on board after like the second half surge of last year. Like there was such an energy, especially from like Alonso.
Yeah,
who was
rookie
all
of the
about,
year.
Yeah, ripping his shirt off like out in the field.
No wire underneath.
No
when
wire.
He ripped it off. Yeah.
yeah. Just brute strength.
Yeah. He was wearing some brute strength.
Yeah, in the cologne.
The cologne, yeah. Which I wear.
Yeah, it's very potent. I have to
thank
say.
you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Your studio has a very potent musk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Thanks. I got the surgery that like it makes your pheromones the smell of brute.
Yeah.
Some neurological surgery.
Yeah. I think they ring out deer, right?
Yep.
That? Yeah.
Because they have antlers on the thing. Something. I don't know. Jägermeister?
I was thinking like, isn't deer piss considered a pheromone?
Yeah.
We can say this.
I mean, I've we could say this. Yeah. We'll test it after the show.
Sure,
we'll like get a deer.
Yeah.
I'm friends with a few.
Yeah.
We'll get them to piss and see what happens. What's your greatest Mets memory of your life?
Okay. I remember it was the 2006 season, like you were saying. I had like just gone through like a messy breakup, and so that season for me meant a lot because the Mets were like there to lean on, and I wanted to go into like 20 games that season. Like, didn't get a season ticket plan, just happened to go to games.
Yeah,
and I went to a game. It was August of 2006. Mets Cardinals. Wainwright was pitching. I think he went like 8 innings or so, like shut the team down the whole game. Beltran had a walk-off home run. The whole stadium erupted. It was just like, it was a back and forth game for the most part, like defensively. But, Delgado hit his 400th home run in that game too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know.
Delgado was awesome.
He is. Oh, he just came out too, defending somebody too. I think in the whole cheating scandal, like somebody was saying he was cheating because he hit like 4 home runs in 2 different games for the Blue Jays or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and someone was like, "Oh, look at Delgado's numbers." And he's like, "Man,
you have no. Did they have any proof besides the 4 home runs?
That's what it was. Delgado is one of those players. He would have a notebook.
Yeah,
and he would jot down like everything from an at bat, anything that happened to him in a game. And somebody was trying to say that was his way of cheating.
That's not cheating.
It's not cheating at all.
It's just taking notes.
Yeah, it's preparation.
Yeah. If you study for a test, you're not cheating.
Yeah, well, you're pre-cheating.
You're pre-cheating.
Yeah,
pre-cheating. Yeah. And the Astros were present cheating. And your worst Mets memory?
My worst Mets memory. 2 games I can think of. I mean, they're not necessarily like bad games as much as it is memorable. 2005, Piazza, he signed with the Padres. He came back to play the Mets. He hit 2 home runs off of Pedro Martinez. We won the game, but it was like, oh God, here he comes. He came up like in the 9th with 2 men on, and was gonna hit another one out, and we were afraid we were gonna lose.
Yeah,
that was a fun one.
And he was like pretty much no longer good by then. Or he was still okay.
He was, he had gone through a couple injuries. It was like the end of his career. Like I think a lot of athletes, they're just kind of holding on a little bit.
Yeah, especially catchers.
Yeah, his knees were done. Yeah, the Mets had tried to shift him at first base like the year prior.
Right.
So.
Yeah, he resisted for a long time. Yeah. I think a lot of catchers do it.
That's like their natural position.
Yeah, that's where they have the most value. And he was never a good defensive catcher anyway.
Yeah.
I went to a game, I think probably 2005. It was like Mets against the Diamondbacks. It was Pedro versus Brandon Webb.
Okay.
It was a great pitcher's duel. And like at some point, oh man, what was the name of the outfielder? He was like a high prospect, but never really had a great career.
Lastings Millage? No,
Sounds
he was
right.
he was 2006. I know that he was up for sure. 2005, I'm not sure if it was.
So maybe it could have been 06. What was it?
Langston Belton?
No. Something Millage.
Yeah, Lastings Millage.
Lastings Millage. Yeah. Yeah. And he like threw out a guy like running from second and third.
He also got in trouble because he threw out another guy in another game, and he went down like the first base line and started high-fiving fans.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I don't even think the inning was over though. I think that was like real.
I think it was like the start of the next inning.
Yeah,
maybe
something happened. It was enough for them to be like, all right, sit down.
Yeah. His career never really panned out.
No, unfortunately. I think he was like a 5-tool prospect.
Yeah,
too. Not all players really develop.
Right.
Not like Brody.
Brody
knows how to develop.
No, Brody knows how to develop. And worst, any worst memories?
I mean, like besides actually being at the games, the 2007.
Oh yeah, you said the Piazza one. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, like if I'm talking about like Mets games
ever, yeah.
I remember, what was it, 2007 when Glavine was pitching on the last game of the season. A win versus the lowly Marlins, and we would have made the playoffs.
Yes.
Instead, he let up 8 runs in the first inning.
Was
only
that,
got 1 out.
Was that the year that like Billy Wagner was out, and then like they just started blowing every single game?
Yeah. They went like 7-17 down the stretch. And they had like a 7.5 game lead.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were all like blown saves or blown holds or whatever.
Much, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I remember that season.
That was real rough. And I remember Glavin afterwards was like, "It's just a baseball game." Trying to shake it off like it was nothing.
Former Brave.
Yeah.
All right. All right, we're gonna move on from Mets Madness to March Madness.
Oh.
I've got a raging case of March Madness. I always do.
Did you just hear what happened?
I did hear what happened.
It's
crazy. It cured my March Madness a little bit. It is crazy. For anybody who doesn't know, due to coronavirus, they are canceling, or they're not canceling the games. They're having the games, but no fans will be allowed except for like, I think press and like family members of the players.
They're changing the game itself too. Now they're just playing Parcheesi.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because that's more suitable to a game without any fans watching. That's going to be so crazy and bizarre to watch.
It really loses like just the energy, obviously.
Yeah.
But more so, like, how many times do you see like, 3 seconds on the clock, drive down the lane like Tyus Edney in like 95, March Madness, and now you just don't have that energy driving the players. I mean, they're kids still. I'm sure they'll
have the energy, but it's just going to be bizarre. You're going to hear everything.
I know.
Which I'm kind of looking forward to. But
so they're doing it in Italy now with soccer. I remember there was, I think, an Orioles game like last year or 2 years ago in which they couldn't get like the makeup date scheduled or something like that, and they wound up not having any. They wound up not having any fans, and it was again barren, and like you could hear outfielders like shouting down to catchers and shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it literally no fans?
No fans.
Wait. Why was that again?
I think it was like a scheduling thing, something that obviously
kept... now I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact reason. I just know that like they still broadcasted the game. So
you
could like see just how like dead it was. It was like just no one really...
So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is this is one of the biggest sporting events of the year.
Yeah.
And there's got to be so much money being lost.
For sure. I mean, these are colleges that are relying on this revenue specifically
to educate their students.
Yeah, and to make money off their students.
And to make money off their athletes.
Yeah.
They're going to have to just do what the athletes do and not get paid.
For sure. Oh, wait, no, aren't they making like a fraction now?
Is that so?
There was I think Ed O'Bannon case.
Is that from Northwestern?
He was UCLA.
Okay.
Yeah. It's either Ed or Charles because they're twins.
Okay.
But it was one of the O'Bannons that had sued whatever body that oversees that, and they wound up getting, I think, like a 15% cut or something like that. I think like they max out at like $2,000 or something like that, but they can get paid now. Is what I had heard.
Okay.
Don't trust a word.
Yeah. I hadn't heard of this, but I don't hear very well, so I kind of missed it. Want to take a phone call?
Let's take a phone call.
We have a 608 phone number. Caller, what's happening?
Hey guys.
Hey.
How are you?
We're good.
Good. Who's this?
Good. This is your old buddy Marcus.
What's up, Marcus?
Did you say your buddy Marcus?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's awfully presumptuous.
I have a question for you guys. I've been thinking about this recently. So like one of those like players, growing up, your answer doesn't have to be growing up, but like I feel like sometimes we get sort of these irrational attachments to players who are not particularly good and don't even have a huge impact on the game, but we just like they're on our team and we like them.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, like for me as a kid, as a Kings fan, like Bobby Jackson was my guy, just the backup point guard, not really killing it ever, but I just like always loved it when Bobby Jackson was playing. And I was wondering like if you guys had players like that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Great question, Marcus. For me right now, I mean, on the Knicks, it is Frank Ntilikina, without question. He's my favorite player in the NBA. And we're going to get to this in a little bit. He had a 20-10 game last night. Wow. He's coming on. He's going to be lots of other people's favorites soon.
Is he in the starting five?
Usually not.
Wow.
Yeah.
To put up those numbers.
Too. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
He was backing up Elfrid Payton, and Elfrid Payton sucks. Let's see, any other player? Who do you have?
I mean, if we're talking still the Mets, I'd say Joe McEwing, Super Joe. As he was
he was just like a base stealer, basically.
I mean, he played around the whole infield. He's like
Like a utility guy.
Classic utility player, like John Vanderwall or something from the Rockies. God, I'm like pulling these names out of my ass is the funny thing. Also, God, I mean, like, not to transition sports just yet, but like I was a big Suns fan for a long time growing up. You know, I think it was just like Barkley in general was like fun to follow. But like I was a big Dan Marley fan too.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Thunder Dan, man. I used to all my shots in the driveway. I'd pretend like I was
Marley.
Yeah, except I didn't know how to say Marley for a while.
Majorly.
Yeah, Majorly. Yeah.
Yep. I think he was always the other guy in NBA Jam.
Yeah. It was him, Kevin Johnson, Cedric Ceballos, Tom Chambers.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think Rex Chapman, maybe.
Oh wow!
Maybe. God, man,
that's a lot of Suns.
Yeah.
More Suns than I can name from those years. Let's see any others. Marcus, do you have any others?
I was just thinking. I think another one for me, and like this honestly might be the last year he's relevant, but Rougned Odor on the Texas Rangers will always be one of my favorite players. Partly for like fantasy baseball reasons, because he helped me win back when he was good. But also that year, I want to say 2017, when he punched Jose Bautista in the face. Do you guys remember this?
I do remember that,
You can see his jaw like shift over in like the still. Yeah.
Yeah. Similarly.
And then, like,
Go ahead.
Oh, it was like after that season, they gave him a big contract, and he was like, and I think they like wrote it into the contract that like, in addition to the money, they were going to buy him horses. I'm like, this guy is fun. He's cool. He's running around hitting people.
Wait, so
but like not in a scary way, just like a stupid way.
Were the horses like a prize for punching Batista, or like was it just something that he? Like, what was the association to horses?
He got a horse per Jose Bautista fight.
That's a good signing bonus.
The other one was just a verbal spat off the field.
El Caballo.
Yeah.
He was on Texas Rangers for a bit. What was his real name?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
El Caballo.
El Caballo.
He was on Milwaukee, and then the Texas Rangers, or maybe Houston. He was a slugger.
I can't think of that.
Carlos Lee.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Yeah. Wasn't his nickname El Caballo?
Was that when he was with the Astros?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. The horse.
Yeah. Okay. Now that sounds familiar now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's also my nickname, but in English.
The nickname.
Yeah. Another person I've really liked, but he's not like a boutique-y guy. In my fantasy baseball league, I drafted Matt Holliday like the first year for his like breakout season with the Rockies, and then like I pretty much would draft him every year after that.
I do the same thing with Sebastian Janikowski. Every year, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm drafting Janikowski.
I think I'm sure there have been others, but he was a kicker who went in the first round.
Yes, he was. Yeah, like the 19th or 21st pick. I think it paid off though.
I mean, it did, but I don't think any team would do that today.
No. Oh, well, I think the Buccaneers did it a couple years ago, or they went like a second rounder out of Florida State, and they just he's panned out.
Sounds like the Bucks.
Yeah. It's a famous bust, wasn't it? Didn't they like cut him after 1 year?
Something like that. Yeah.
Oof. Cool. Anything else, Marcus?
Nope, that was it.
Cool. Who do you got in the World Series this year?
Who do I have in the World Series?
Of poker.
God, that's tough.
Of baseball baseball first, then actually of poker first, then baseball.
Okay, so poker first, then baseball.
Yeah.
I'll say Jacob deGrom in poker and the Queen of Spades in the World Series.
Love it. All right, thank you, buddy Marcus. You call back whenever you feel.
All right, sounds good.
Okay,
later.
Whoop. We got another caller. This is a New Jersey phone number, 201. What's happening?
Is that me?
Yo, what up, Larry?
What's up?
Grant.
Oh, Grant.
Grant, are you from New Jersey?
Yeah.
What part?
Originally, Ramsey. County, man.
I don't know if we've talked about this. I'm from Fairlawn.
Mm-hmm. And I know somebody from Demarest.
Fairlawn. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do you know?
Yeah. Let's play this.
Okay. Do you know Caroline DeVita?
Ooh.
I do.
Holy shit.
God.
Oh, Caroline DeVita, call in.
Call in. I don't think we're friends on Facebook.
Okay.
If anyone's no.
If anybody knows where Carolyn DeVita is, tell her now to call in.
I think she works at a Hooters on Route 17.
If anybody is at the Hooters on Route 17, tell your waitress to call in. You have to see the context.
We want to talk. It's Eric and Grant.
Eric and Grant want to talk to you. What's up, Grant?
I just wanted to ask you, Larry, and Eric as well. What is your favorite Lakers championship from the 21st century? Because there's 5 to pick from, and I'm just sort of polling as a Lakers fan what your favorite one is, because there's an argument to be made for all 5.
Okay, I take it you're a big Lakers fan.
Yes.
Yeah, the Nets didn't do it for you growing up.
I'd imagine that would be.
No,
you're kind of torn rooting between the two.
I like the Mets. Oh, the Nets.
Nets, yeah, New Jersey Nets.
Oh no.
Well,
Canyon. What was it? Not the Canyon. The Arena of Champions.
But I preferred the Lakers.
Yeah. All right. Well, you could like the worst team ever. No, Lakers are good. They're probably going to win it again this year. You know what? If I do have a favorite,
they could.
Yeah, they could. If they get things right between LeBron and AD.
If they win 16 games, I'm led to believe, then they win the whole thing.
Yeah, 16W, like exit 16W on the New Jersey Turnpike to get to the Meadowlands.
Yeah, that's going north. Yeah,
I thought that was 18.
The Meadowlands.
I could be wrong. My jersey is very off.
It could have changed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What you're saying. I'm just saying what you're saying.
Yeah. Just say what I'm saying, and you'll do well in life. You know what is my favorite Lakers championship, even though I'm not a Lakers fan?
Yeah.
It's probably their most recent one. It's the one where after the championship game, they interviewed Ron Artest, and he thanked his therapist.
The hero.
It's true. Yeah, the true heroes in this world.
Saving lives.
Yeah, mental health is important. It was just groundbreaking for him to say, "I want to thank my therapist." Very interesting.
Break the stigma, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ron Artest did that for us.
It's a stigma.
You know, I wish.
That and Space Jam.
Gonna break the Space Jam stigma.
Yeah.
Well, they showed the players in therapy, so for
Oh yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Wow. Shot for shot Space Jam.
Shot for shot Space Jam. If you're listening, Leah Evans.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I call Foghorn Leghorn. Is he even in it?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
It's hard to not utilize a character like that.
You know, I wish Jack from Michigan, or past caller, was on the phone. I don't see him in the call queue, but Jack from Michigan, big Pistons fan.
Michigan, why does that sound familiar?
Oh, you know, there was this team, the Pistons, that in 04 they played the Lakers in the championship and they won.
That was a good series. That was a very good series.
No.
Oh, come on, man.
No.
Grant, bad memories for you?
Oh. Trauma, triggering.
Ooh, we hit you in the feel spot.
That sounds like something you should bring up to therapy.
Oh my God, it's a dagger.
Yeah.
It's a dagger.
Ben Wallace hitting that shot. He's taking the first shot of the game.
He would launch up like 3-pointers, wouldn't he? Like just over the head.
Clunk.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God. They were dominated. That was the best 5-man team ever.
Tayshaun Prince.
Yep.
Rip Hamilton.
Yep.
Rasheed
Wallace.
Who was there?
Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey Billups. The mask.
Rip was the mask.
Rip was the mask. Yeah.
So was that one of your worst memories as a sports fan?
Definitely. Well, you know what? It was one of the worst because it was so long. Because like the whole year was just like this Shaq and Kobe thing, and then like they had they hitched Karl Malone and Gary Payton to him, so it was just like this taped up old like deformed zombie robot.
It's like Dream Team, but like well past its prime.
Work.
Yeah. No, Eric was saying it's like the Dream Team past its prime.
Yeah.
Oh, so past its prime. It's just like it's like the fruit is gone bad, but you're still eating it.
I feel bad for Karl Malone because that was his chance to win a championship.
Hey, he could have won it at was it WWE?
Yeah, it's true. No, WCW.
WCW.
He
was also the victim of 2 Jordan titles, so that dude went through a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Utah. He wasn't there a thing like where he would say something to himself before every free throw shot?
Yeah, he would mumble something to himself.
Yeah, but he wouldn't tell anybody what it was.
Yeah, I think it was something to do with actual mail delivery.
The mailman.
Yeah. Through rain, sleet, or slow.
And snow, we will deliver.
Yes.
the postmail guy.
Yeah. There's.
So in terms of it being one of the worst memories, it was just like, so the whole season was just like this long, prolonged thing where it's just like, this isn't going to work, but they end up making the finals. So you're like, is it maybe going to work? And then they just lose.
Ugh. And you're like, they're good enough to win without. To win without this, or win even with the off the court problems.
Yeah. That was 2005?
4, I think.
3 and 4.
3 and 4.
I think it was LeBron's rookie season.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Was Shaq there one more year after that, or did he go to Miami that next year?
No, he was traded that summer.
Oh man, that's just a long
that
stretch.
Was like that was the conclusion of like a 4-year saga.
Yeah, he went to Boston. He was in Phoenix. Did he have any one?
Towards the end of his career, yeah.
Big cactus.
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big cactus.
Got to get his 8 minutes in.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to get a 5th ring like Kobe. That's why he was doing all that.
Yeah.
Free agency at the end there.
Oh man,
he wanted to tie Kobe.
Yeah, back then, like Kobe and Shaq was always like the story on SportsCenter.
Like the drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Brad and Jen or something.
Benifer
of sports.
And that's when Phil was still like a genius before he went to the Knicks and started falling asleep during workouts.
When triangles were the only shape defense.
Yeah, triangle was still the best shape.
I love that he got that job to take naps.
Yeah.
I'm going to fly to the East Coast to take some naps.
Some bad years for Knicks fans. Things are getting better.
I empathize.
Yeah. So, who do you like in baseball?
The New York Yankees.
Yep, another underdog, just like the Lakers.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
Real tough. What do you think the Yankees' biggest weakness is?
When your team wins a lot,
right.
It's tough to celebrate, but also like empathize with, like everybody else who wants their team to win just as bad.
What's the biggest concern for the Yankees this year?
What's the what?
What's the biggest concern for the Yankees this year?
Following through
on pitches, like letting go of the ball
on a lot of
on throws to first.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's a fundamental thing.
Yeah, it's the fundamentals. But they should. I mean, they should be good again. Yeah,
I think like the back end of their rotation is like where they're soft at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, because
especially after losing.
Paxton went down. Severino went down.
Had Tommy John.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get Tommy John surgery.
Yeah,
and then
just be trendy about it.
Yeah, and then like afterwards, like all of a sudden, like I'm pitching better than I was before when I was not pitching.
I would get surgery on the other arm and get Thomas James though.
Yeah. Do they still take a ligament from like another part of your body?
I think the butt.
The butt ligament.
The butt ligaments.
Yeah. So your butt is a little bit.
They have to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, the body rejects it.
Didn't Geraldo Rivera do something like that? Geraldo Rivera had fat from his ass injected into his forehead.
What?
Yeah, this is like early 90s.
Okay. Was it like a cosmetic thing?
Yes, it was cosmetic. He didn't do it on the show, but I remember it being a thing in which he had fat from his ass injected into his forehead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now he gives great headbutts.
Yeah.
When he's wrestling.
Soft kiss.
Soft kisses with his forehead. Okay, Grant. Any other sports topics on your mind?
No. I was just really thinking deeply about biggest, like, worst sports losses.
Yeah, I totally understand. And you know what? When you win so much, the losses hurt that much more.
Yeah, they stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember all three of them.
Yeah.
They just hurt in a different way sometimes, I think. They just hurt in a different way. Because long, prolonged hurt is just as bad as, like, making it to the championship and losing at the finish line.
Right.
Yeah.
But, or you could be a Mets fan and have prolonged hurt and then make it to the NLCS, and then Beltran strikes out looking against Adam Wainwright.
I was in the TGI Fridays of Ryder, New Jersey when that pitch happened, and I literally fell to my knees in a puddle of Jack Daniel's sauce. Yeah. It was a demoralizing moment that literally has stuck with me through time.
And you had to drink your way out.
It was a vat of Jack Daniel's sauce.
Cool. All right, thanks for the call, Grant.
201.
201.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll talk to you another time. Always call back. We got another caller on the line. This is a 347 phone number. Caller, what's happening? Hello, 347.
Hello. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, hey, who is this?
Oh, it doesn't matter who I am. It's just my question that matters.
Okay, good. Stay anonymous. You never know who's listening.
It's really, I've been really enjoying this podcast, and I've been enjoying it. There's just one word that keeps coming up, and I don't know what it means, and I was hoping you could explain it.
Sure.
It's the word baseball. I don't quite know what baseball is.
Oh, okay. Never heard of it?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of basketball and football, but I feel like I just managed to skate by without actually hearing that one.
Wow. This is interesting. Like, they say that baseball is losing ratings in the millennial generation.
It's true. It's why they're trying to speed up the game in so many different ways.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's gotten so bad that I guess our anonymous caller has never actually even heard of baseball.
A sport that's dated back to the 1860s.
Yeah, well, I would have been so happy to give it my ratings if I had known about it. I mean, is it on the television?
It's on television.
You can find
it. You can find it on television, sometimes on ESPN, sometimes on MLB Network, or your local regional sports channel, like Yes or SNY.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, so let's try to define baseball here. All right. It's played with a round ball that with a leather coating that the leather is stitched together with, I guess, some sort of thread. And and creating seams in the ball. And this one
is the ball like the size of a basketball?
Oh, it's much small. It's about the size of a tennis
ball?
It's the size of a tennis ball.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Two teams. You've got 9 chances each to score as many runs as you can, and runs are scored by advancing teammates to each stationed base in order. So you've got to hit the ball past the other team and advance your other players in order to score runs. So
right. And if someone on the other team catches the ball on a fly without it hitting the ground, or they get the ball and throw it to the first station, the first base, before you get there, that's an out. And you get 3 of them in a little frame called an inning.
Okay, that makes sense. Can they tackle the players like in football?
They
or
have.
Is that a no-no?
They do it from time to time. I wouldn't say. I mean, you might get punched on the base paths, but yeah.
It's also mandatory that because you're not allowed to smoke, and all athletes love tobacco, so you have to chew your tobacco while playing baseball. Yeah, it's for chewing. There's also
that makes sense.
Yeah,
no dessert until you finish your tobacco.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't grow up to be a big, strong boy. There's a rule that there's what's called a designated hitter. Now, this is somebody who is just a terribly unathletic person who cannot play in the field and doesn't want to play in the field. It's because they're very lazy. So the designated hitter just sits around for like close to an hour before they're like, okay, you get to hit now.
Now's your turn.
Now it's your turn.
Nap time's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess I'm trying to think if I have other questions about the game. Is it new? Did it come out like this last year? Or I'm just wondering how I missed this.
It was actually invented in the 1800s.
Yeah. Abner Doubleday.
Abner Doubleday.
Oh, my God.
In New Jersey, for that matter.
Wow.
Yeah. Another New Jersey fact for you.
Wow, I knew I was missing out on things, but wow, that one goes back pretty far.
Yeah. There's also one more rule in the game of baseball is that so the person that's pitching sometimes gets tired and they have to bring in relief pitchers. And when it's the final relief pitcher, this has kind of changed in today's baseball, but the final relief pitcher has to come onto the field with an entrance song.
And it has to be by either Metallica or AC/DC or early Hanson. You know.
Or the Trogs who do the song Wild Thing. I wonder if the trend actually started with that movie.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, the song?
Major League.
Oh, like
No. The song was from the 60s or whatever. But if the trend of closers coming out to music.
Huh. I like that.
I don't know. It's also very pro wrestling.
And so this field, I'm picturing is it like ice, like a hockey field? Is it like a swimming pool, or is it just like grass?
Well, technically it's grass, but it's kind of ice because sometimes ice is a term used for diamonds, and the field is in a diamond.
Wow.
And the grass usually isn't
I was going to
real.
ask next. I was picturing more of a rhombus shape.
No rhombuses. That would make for some weird games.
Is that rhombi?
Rhombi.
Is rhombi plural?
Yep.
Rhombuses.
I'm going to say yes on that.
Wow, well, you have just cleared up so much. Thank you so much to the both of you. You really do know sports.
Yeah, thank you. That's the greatest compliment you could give to anybody. So, yeah, try to check out a baseball game on the television near you and call back and tell us what you think of it.
I will. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you, anonymous caller. We have one more call in the queue. This is a 248 phone number. Hello, caller. What's happening?
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, is this Jack from Michigan?
Hi, Jack.
Oh, sweet. I've heard about him.
Jack from Michigan.
You know, Grant from New Jersey was on the phone before talking about the LA Lakers against the Pistons and how he just feels traumatized as a Lakers fan.
Interesting. Could we get Grant back on the phone?
We could. If Grant, if you're listening,
Love to talk to him about
Patch him in.
yeah, Grant, call back and we could try to have you. But in the meantime, what was the 2004 championship like for you?
Oh my gosh, it was a transformative time as a young man.
Right.
Let me tell you. I must say, first and foremost, we beat essentially a super team before super teams are a thing, because that team was Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, and a bunch of other people.
Julius Erving, Moses
so
Malone.
We were coming in as probably the most complete team. I put team in parentheses or quotes in the history of the league, because we had 5 starters in the All-Star game, but no one was a superstar. So we were an all-star team because of our effort and our cohesiveness. So that team not only won the championship and made my life as a young man, but also bonus points. I mean, RIP, but we broke up Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah,
so,
that summer, as we just talked about, Shaq went to Miami Heat that summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a service to America because nobody likes the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so fun because I had we were going up against the Lakers, so like I obviously believe in the team because they were, an all-time great team. Again, I'm emphasizing team. Mm-hmm. And they won it was they call it the 5-game sweep, because at that point it was the I think it was the 2-3-2 format, which no longer exists.
I hated that
for the finals. Yeah. So it was the 2 at home, 3 away, which honestly seems like an advantage to the away team.
It is. So
especially coming into the Palace of Auburn Hills, like that was a disadvantage for the Lakers.
Right. So they won. They swept those 3, right?
Yeah. So we won I think it was Pistons took the first game, lost the second, and then swept at home, and that was it.
If you think about it, the Pistons are actually also responsible for Shaquille O'Neal's DJ career. Just
Really?
if you're talking
How
about
so?
the long walk, the long picture of it, he's you're trying to find some kind of avenue to let off some steam. You lose a championship. You're trying to, rebuild yourself, find a new persona, perhaps, and I think DJing was what it was for him.
Did he really?
Yeah. People think he's like a really good DJ.
Wow.
I heard that he practices while he's supposed to be watching the games at TNT.
Oh, I have not heard this.
He has like a studio.
Oh, yeah, Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq has a studio at TNT where he goes and practices his DJing. Yeah. It's a thing. Like,
That's
people know
hilarious.
that. Yeah.
I'm sure Barkley comes in.
Yeah.
Hey, let me try.
What's all this?
Yeah,
That's a fun fact, but I'd really like to meet the person who was responsible for Shaq's rap career.
yeah, because that was not "What's Up, Doc? Can we rock?"
No, it was Shaq Fu.
Yeah. There's isn't one of the like Mandela theories about the movie Shazam or Kazam?
Kazam and Shazam. Yeah.
Kazam and Shazam, but it was Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal.
No, Shazam with Shaquille O'Neal.
Shazam was Shaquille.
Yeah.
And
I know what
Kazam.
you're going to say, and I want you to say it because it's good.
It's Sinbad in Kazam, and people are fully convinced that that's the real movie. And,
Right,
yeah,
but that
same
movie,
premise, I
but
think.
that movie never existed.
No, never
Right.
existed.
Okay.
But I think recently somebody made like a fake version of it, on, like College Humor or something.
Yeah. Awesome.
Someone came up with one of those. I honestly forget what it was, but it's like a turn of phrase that didn't exist before a certain movie.
I know it's a bucket list.
If anyone's like super
It's bucket list.
bucket list, yes, the bucket
people,
list.
People
I
think
argued with someone because I was like, no, bucket list was a thing before the movie The Bucket List that came out like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
it was like
I couldn't find anything
2003 or
online
something
about
like that.
bucket
Yeah.
list before then.
Yeah, no, it's definitely from the movie.
Wait, the bucket list was with Jack Nicholson and
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that existed.
Yeah,
No?
It's like a term that like almost makes too much sense that when you hear it, they're like,
Yeah.
okay, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I understand it, the context.
But don't you kick the bucket has been around for a while. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just assume bucket list has been around and they built the movie off of that phrase.
Yeah, off kick
But
the
apparently
bucket.
it's not the case.
Oh. Man, I would think, kick the bucket is like you kick the bucket over when you die, and there goes your list of things to do.
Yeah. Everything falls out of the bucket.
Everything
Truly
falls out of the
a
bucket.
sad phrase, though.
Yeah. Hey,
Is it like you're kicking the bucket over because you're standing on it? And like,
yeah, that's life. You stand on a
you're killing
bucket.
yourself?
Isn't life
It's a-
just one big bucket
Oh,
metaphor?
it's a life.
Yeah.
It's a life bucket. Okay, got it.
Jack, do you think anybody from that Pistons team is going to make the Hall of Fame?
Oh, 100%. Ben Wallace,
Mm-hmm.
Chauncey Billups.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough after that.
Yeah.
Because, you have an NBA Finals champion. You have a four-time defensive champion, defensive player of the year. But you look at the rest of the team, I think, the rest of that starting five deserves it. But if anyone were perhaps going to make it, I mean, Rip Hamilton.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I could see
I
Ben
think
Wallace.
Rip could make the Hall.
Yeah, Rip would probably be, Rip or Sheed would be third.
But Sheed was I think Sheed was the most superstar quality player that we had on the team.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at, like impact on the team, like Rip was, right up there with Chauncey, I think.
It's hard to have like one player stand out when you have everyone just playing together.
Yeah. It's the problem with being cohesive.
It's the problem with getting along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Jack. Anytime you want to talk
Sure.
Detroit sports or any sort of sports, please call back.
Of course. Grant, if you're out there listening, I just want to say I'm sorry because I'm not sorry.
Oh,
burn.
Yeah, Grant.
All right.
Lakers
Thanks,
suck.
Larry.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, so something I want to talk quickly about the Knicks, my favorite basketball team. And Frank Ntilikina, who's my favorite player, is much maligned by a lot of Knicks fans and a lot of fans in general. They think he's terrible because he's kind of not shown anything on offense, but there's like a subset of fans who just see the sparks there, that he shows flashes and he's so good defensively. And this year, his handle's gotten better. He's started making drives to the net, and like it all kind of came together last night with his 20-10 game.
I think that like much like how coaches are put on like 3-year contracts usually, like, I think players should be given like a 3-year window to at least develop in some way.
Yeah, before you could kind of say if they're good or not.
Yeah, like busts. It's too early to just say like, someone's a bust. But,
especially in basketball when players are sometimes drafted when they're 18 or 19. He's still 21. The future is bright for the Knicks. If I'm probably the only person who thinks that, but it's like there's so much chaos around the organization. Are you a Knicks fan, by the way?
Basketball is one of those sports I'm like a little removed from. I know like the top tier.
You've heard of Shaq?
I've heard of him. I've heard of the letters.
Yep.
I've heard of the Shake.
The Shake Shack. So like there's chaos. They failed on getting Kyrie and KD, even though I think that's for the best. Even though they tried to get those two players. They've got RJ Barrett, they've got Mitch Robinson and Frank. That's a nice young core. They've got all their draft picks, they've got future picks, they've got cap flexibility. If you're a rebuilding organization, this is where you want to be. The question is, are they going to stay patient for the rebuild?
Wasn't Leon Rose's like initial like statement release was like, please be patient, like a begging to the fans, like, yo, we all know what's going on here. Just I'm begging you.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna he's gonna have to clean house and get like totally new. Like they need like just player development is where they've kind of failed.
I think, at least from my perspective, it feels like the Knicks are one of those teams that are just like, we're the Knicks, and too bad. Like they have like no fan service.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're riding on their name for as long as they have. Anytime free agency comes around, and we're like, oh, we're the Knicks, we're gonna get whoever we want, and they just don't.
Yeah, and they've the sad part is that they have like the best. They have great fans, dedicated fans who like I watch every single Knicks game, which is shame on me.
So you're the reason.
I'm the reason they're able to. I subsidize all their bad decisions. But for so long they've been like what the Mets used to be, where they would just like try to just have the quick fix with a free agent signing. I hope that's changing. I hope what we're seeing now is the years to come. Any final thoughts from you, Eric? About any team? About anybody.
I mean, like I was saying before we started, like I'm excited about the Mets this season. Hope springs eternal every year. Spring training is looking good. Cespedes might even come back this year.
Yeah,
it's a contract year for him, and he's going to be trying to prove a lot. So
I hope he does prove.
If he gets out there, him behind or in front of Alonso is very dangerous.
Yeah,
McNeil to get on base first, and then the two of them behind him. It's shaping up to be a formidable offense with a good pitching staff. Bullpen's really my only concern.
How's their farm system?
Weak. So weak. Okay. We've been bad with farming talent for a while. We do have 3 top 50 like minor league players, but they're a little ways.
Okay, that's
away
not
from,
bad.
Yeah, they're ways
from
ways development though. Yeah.
Okay.
I think like an 18-year-old is our top talent right now. Ronnie Mauricio is shortstop. But,
okay.
Yeah. Either way, he's a ways away. But yeah, I mean,
looking up.
Yeah,
blue and orange.
Looking up.
Yep. Well, good luck with this season. I'm gonna try to watch more baseball than I have in the past, so that I could explain to our anonymous caller what it is. I think I know what it is, but I'm gonna be watching the Mets.
Good.
Yeah. It's time for more blue and orange in my life.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show, Eric.
Yeah,
Anything you want to plug?
Friday nights at the Armory, my team Goliath performs with Brian Packman. If you could let him know. We've got a show coming up, not this Friday, but next Friday.
Right.
But go to the Armory any Friday and catch good teams performing.
Yeah. I heard Goliath is New York City's greatest improv team.
That's what I'm hearing.
I read about that in Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
That's what they said. I don't write it.
You can't refute that.
Yeah.
If Peter Travers is writing it, then you got to believe it. Yeah.
Great. So check that out at the Armory. If you're listening to the podcast, subscribe, review it. Tell your friends. If you're watching, subscribe on YouTube or follow me on any of the social medias, like Twitter or Instagram at Larry the Athlete. Also, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Bumble, AT&T.com, whatever. Just follow me and subscribe. And we'll have a good time. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
We're ready to play us out.